Hello there, guys. Welcome to Let's Talk Football. Of course, I will talk everything explicitly football. And the Super Cup produced what we intended it to produce: a lot of magical moments, a lot of tense moments, a lot of pure technical prowess from both teams exercising their authority during various parts of the game. It was Spurs versus PSG. Now, I know a lot of people wrote out Spurs and we're like, oh, they were not going to get a chance at winning. PSG is going to score probably maybe a couple of goals in the opening 30 minutes and it's just going to be all done. But Thomas Frank had something up his sleeves. He set up his sides tactically so well in a 3-5-2 formation, providing a midfield block where we had Pape Metasa, we had Pahinha, we had Bentancur showing up the midfield, and Pedro Porro and Jet Spence providing weak back options to curtail, PSG attacks from the wings. And so far, it was looking so good. From the first half, it was a good game plan from Spurs, and Thomas Frank's game plan was working so well. In Contelli, PSG counter-pressing attacks, even from the midfield down to the defense. And I tell you, Thomas Frank is here with his set piece, new maneuver, tactical acumen, for Spurs to start winning them points. We saw it with Brentford, when he was managing them, how good they are during set pieces. It looks like he has brought that bit of aura and that bit of, tactical set piece acumen now to Spurs. Every time Spurs had a set piece, whether from a free kick, from a corner, from a long train, they looked dangerous and they caused PSG troubles. And so far, the game plan, was working so well. They got the lead through their centre back, Van der Ven, and the second half, I felt it was definitely game over when Romero doubled the lead. And up until 85 minutes, it looked like Spurs were going to, win the Super Cup trophy against all odds. But in football, you just never know. Enrique said it at the end of the game. Football, it is what it is. It felt like probably maybe Tottenham deserved their win, but quality at the end, coupled with luck, just proved to be what was on PSG's side. A brilliant finish from Kangin Lee to the top corner ensured that PSG were back in the game. And then onto extra added time, I felt like probably maybe Spurs would be able to see out the game. And then just a depth lack in concentration. And then boom, Goncalo Ramos equalized 2-2 and it was straight to penalties. Now this is where I felt like, okay, probably maybe Spurs could have won it. They were in the lead during the penalty shootout 2-1 when Vitinha had missed his penultimate spot kick for PSG, and Spurs were just Spursy. They flopped their lines and it was so terrible, so terrible and heartbreaking, especially for the Spurs fans that had traveled to Udinese to witness their team, and who, even with less expectations, I could tell that even when the scorelines were at 2-0, they believe and they were hanging on that it was their night of glory, but PSG had other plans. And again, the goalkeeper that PSG had signed, both call from Luis Enrique to leave out Donnarumma, and say, this is not the goalie I want. He's certainly not good with his feet. I am better off with a goalkeeper that can play off from the back, that can play off with the ball at his feet. And wow, Chevalier proved a lot of that as wrong, especially in the penalty shootout. I saw a lot of things that I liked: the way he was passing under pressure, short passes, long passes. I would not necessarily fault him for both goals. He produced some outstanding saves during the game, and I can we are seeing a little bit of cracks and tweaks in this PSG side to tell you that if you go man for man, if you stay with your tactics, if you stay disciplined, if you are strong defensively, you can hurt this PSG side. But again, quality proved to be, what was essential in the end, as PSG, got the win and won the Super Cup. Now, Chelsea, left themselves as the only big dogs to be able to, beat PSG at the biggest stage of them, or at the Club World Cup final. It just gives you, it tells you how much, well-drilled Chelsea are, and props to Enzo Maresca, for setting up the team the way they did. And of course, I know a lot of things will be looking at the blueprint, set by Chelsea and Enzo Maresca anytime they set out to play PSG, to want to hurt PSG. And so it is what it is. Premier League season starts tomorrow. It's Liverpool versus Bournemouth, the opening game for the Premier League season. Exciting times. The Premier League is back, and it's going to be, even more blockbuster games to come.